Do not sleep on Biomutant. Biomutant is an open-world action role-playing game that was developed by Experiment 101 and published by THQNordic. So, as long as THQ are involved, you know you're going to get yourself a good game with a lot of crap. Let me explain. THQNordic do make some really cool games, but they seem to be a lot of the time budget games. I don't know if that's by design or just the way they happen to be developed. But Biomutant is one of them, and you take control of some raccoon, rat, squirrel thing that you can fully customize from the beginning of the game, making him look really squirrely and weedy if you want, or making him big and bulky and changing the size of the head and etc, etc. This game, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth, where humans are gone and all the animals have become anthropomorphic. Don't know if I can say that again on the first take, and they're just more intelligent, and there are different factions fighting one another. And the cool thing is with this game is it's very linear towards the beginning, but once you get past that, the game opens up and gives you choices to choose one way or another, indirectly affecting the opposite choice that you make. There is looting, crafting, leveling up and unlocking special abilities. Now the game has so much in it that's good, however it does have some things that may niggle some people, so I will get the negatives out of the way first, and then I'll go into what I really like about the game. Now the way that your character moves is pretty cool. You can run around like normal, or you can run on all fours. There are also mounts that can be like animals that can be won over, just like in Zelda Breath of the Wild. You can go up to them with a special food type and charm them and then get to ride them. There are also many different vehicles and a mech suit and all sorts that you can ride on as well, which again, really cool, and they can be customized too. There's a sort of fishing, but it's not fishing, because you'll get this one vehicle which will enable you to kind of skip across the water, and you'll be able to move trash piles effectively and get some cool loot that way. There's plenty of lore to be found within the game, but unfortunately it's not really fleshed out, which is such a shame. But apart from that and the combat, which can be a bit monotonous and repetitive at the beginning of the game, it does upgrade and evolve as the game progresses. Not too much though, so the combat at the beginning of the game, which is a mixture of melee combat, ranged combat, and the ability to pull off special finishing moves and special combo moves, which do look pretty cool. There's some really cool kung fu-esque stuff going on within the game itself. But yeah, so apart from, just the fact that the story isn't like super in your face, which I think it would have been really cool to have a lot more insight into the past, and the fact that the game just kind of bounces you around in a very linear fashion for the first hour or so, and that the combat can seem a bit repetitive to start with, which is odd, as you'd want the beginning of your game to be amazing to have people continue on playing. But if you just stick through the slight mundaneness that you may experience towards the beginning of the game, and when you get to the open part where you'll be able to roam around, loot things, explore, take part in side quests and other activities, raiding fortresses and all that, completing the main quests, the game is pretty cool and well worth picking up on the cheap if you can get it on the cheap. Now, I played it on Xbox Series X. Of course, it's the Xbox One version. The Xbox Series X version is not out until next month, September, so I'm going to wait to do a full review until the version comes out, and I'll update it and I'll continue there. I did capture a load of my own footage, but like a total tit box, I deleted it by accident, so I'm using trailer footage here. So apologies about that. But I was very shocked by Biomutant. From the minute I saw the cover a few years ago, actually, because it released last year, but it got delayed several times. This was actually supposed to come out maybe originally in 2019, maybe 2020, Christmas of one of those 2 years, I think, and it got delayed and pushed back. And it is a good game. It's not a terrible game. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. It might not be for everybody, but like I said, if you can find it on the cheap on either PC or PlayStation 4 and 5 or Xbox One or Series X or S, I'm fairly certain that if you like open world action RPGs and you just want something different to play, the game is gorgeous looking even before its next gen upgrade. The game is very, very beautiful. The lighting is great, the environment and textures and all that are really, really cool, and I very much enjoyed exploring around and finding what lore I could and looting what I could. There's not too much to loot, unfortunately, but there is looting there when you can open up suitcases and other bits inside of rundown old houses and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the creatures do look peculiar. If you imagine that this game sort of almost looks like it takes place in the animated world of Rango, if you've ever watched that Johnny Depp animated movie, where it's really cool but everything in it looks so bizarre, and that's pretty much what Biomutant is. But please give it a go, or check out some other videos and whatnot, and one day I'll have a review up and maybe some gameplay, and you know, you guys can make your own informed decision. It does have mixed reviews, yes, but as long as you go into this not expecting greatness but just expecting a good game, I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised. But please let me know in the comments down below, have you ever played this game? Is this a game you've been thinking about picking up? And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.